I'm wondering, how did it feel when you stood there and you said yes to this?
Well, it's been a long, hard-fought battle. Obviously, there were some things we didn't like about it as New Yorkers, and that's mostly due to the oppressive tax and spend regime that we have in Albany. I know I was a member of the New York State Assembly with 6 years of tax and spend policies, crony capitalism, you name it, that this governor has become legendary for. And what have we got? We've got out-migration of jobs, people, worst tax environment, worst economic environment in the nation. So it felt good to finally fight the battle and get some of the lifelines we needed for New Yorkers, and that included retaining the SALT deduction of up to $10,000, which we had before, but it got more flexible. Now SALT can be applied up to $10,000 using property, income, and even sales tax.
Why every poll we saw on this over the last couple of weeks, why were the numbers on approval for this package of legislation so low?
I think it's because tax policy is fairly complicated, and I think people don't always understand what's going on. Many of them leave it to their accountants, and that's understandable. We're trying to make it simpler. But I think also sometimes Republicans aren't as good at messaging and telling stories as Democrats are. I think the hysteria on the side of the Democrats is going to show exactly how good this is actually going to end up being. The Tax Policy Institute, or Tax Policy Center, part of Brookings, a very liberal-based independent think tank, has said 80% of Americans are going to see a tax cut with this, and they've come around to liking this now. So I think the question is whether we can, how Americans actually see the benefits in their tax immediately next year, probably starting by their first paychecks. They're going to see less in federal tax. The big question is, will New York State stop disrespecting its taxpayers and start bringing down our taxes, stop hurting our school districts with unfunded mandates, stop hurting our local governments with overburdensome regulations and taxes, and revive our economy. That's what this is all about. It's about growth. It's about providing jobs and opportunity. In the long run, I think you're going to see this is going to bring back America, and it's going to give us more independence, more jobs, higher growth, higher rates as far as income, and less taxes. And so in the end, I think it's going to be very good for us. And New York State has been given a lifeline by us in our battle to fight back many of these deductions that we like, our popular deductions that our taxpayers enjoy. Those are going to be there for for New Yorkers.
You broke with members of your party on this. That's well documented from New York State. I'm wondering, do you get a sense that this vote today could make you more vulnerable next time you're up for election?
No, I don't think so. I don't worry about re-election. I vote to do what's right. I didn't spend a lot of my own money, a lot of my own capital, and put myself at risk to be, as a small business owner, as a single mom of a Marine, to put myself in a position to do what's right. I think that this is just, I have to do what's right, and voting for this tax bill is what's right. Before, when the initial language came out in the budget instructions, which said that we were going to reduce or eliminate SALT, I couldn't support that. But I think in the long run, doing what's right is what the taxpayers and what the voters expected of me, and that's just what I did today.
What did you learn about governing through this process that you didn't know before?
Well, I learned there's a couple of good things about the federal government. Not a lot, but there's a few good things. If you fight hard enough and diligently enough, some of your asks do come true. I have to give credit to Kevin Brady, the chairman of our Ways and Means Committee. I'm not kidding. I think I texted, emailed, called him almost every single day, multiple times a day, asking him and begging and saying, we need to include this. You need to throw us a lifeline for New Yorkers. And they came through for us. It's not perfect. I've said that before, but I think it's a really good start. And I wish the Democrats would join with us and make these tax cuts permanent. They can do that when we vote on it next year. And I think many of them will be joining on with us next year when they actually see that all their hysteria is really not true, that Americans are really going to see tax cuts and they're going to see growth. And I think that I'm looking forward to working with them as they join on and make this even better next year.
Legislating via text message. We're in 2017, almost 2018. Congresswoman Claudia Tenney, safe travels home. Appreciate it.